All the automated operations we've covered so far rely on one key premise, that elements can be captured. But what if you run into a situation where element capture isn't possible? Does that mean automation is off the table? Definitely not. Next, we'll learn about automated operations using the keyboard, mouse, and images. Primarily leveraging the keyboard and mouse to build an automation flow. This is a last resort solution. Expand the mouse/keyboard command set. The first command, type keys, is mainly used to send text or special keys to the currently active window. If the input field you need to interact with can't be captured, or if you need to input special keys, you can use this command to do so. For example, when sending a message on Discord, after typing the message you want to send, you need to press the Enter key on your keyboard to send it to the recipient. Next, we'll use the type keys command to send I love Automa to Jerry. The content to input has two parts. One is I love Automa, and the other is the Enter key. First, type I love Automa into the input field, then click Show Keyboard Viewer below. A keyboard will pop up for you to enter keys. Find the Enter key and click it. You'll see Enter appear in the field above. The symbols mean whatever's inside is a special key, and once you're familiar with this, you can also type Enter directly into the input field. Since type keys performs input directly, you need to make sure the cursor is in the message input field before running the command. You can add a wait command first and set it to 3 seconds. Click Run. Manually click the input field once, and the program will start typing automatically. All right, the message was sent successfully. Next, let's look at the two most commonly used commands for mouse operations, Move Mouse and Click Mouse. To make the operation effects more intuitive, we'll use Canva to demonstrate how these two commands work in detail. First, let's look at Move Mouse. Its core function is to move the mouse to a specified coordinate point. The coordinate point can be defined relative to the top left corner of the screen, the top left corner of the active window, or the current mouse position. For example, select Screen and set both X and Y to 100. The system will then create a coordinate system with the top left corner of the screen as the origin, and move the mouse to the position where both the horizontal and vertical coordinates are 100 from the origin. If you select Active Window, it will use the top left corner of the active window as the origin instead. The key difference between the two is this. When using the top left corner of the screen as the origin, make sure the target window stays fixed. Otherwise, moving the window will cause the target coordinate to deviate. When using the top left corner of the active window as the origin, however, you don't need to fix the window's position. It automatically adapts to window movement, making it much more flexible. Let's use a concrete example. Suppose we need to move the mouse into the green square in the Canva window. There's no need to manually enter the target coordinates. Move the mouse to the green square, hold down Ctrl and Alt, and the X and Y coordinates will generate automatically. Click Test, and the mouse will move into the green square. But if you move the Canva window at this point and click Run again, you'll see the mouse can't move to the correct position. If you switch to Active Window, activate the window and recapture the coordinate point, then add the Get Specified Window command before this one to activate the target window. Click Run, and the mouse will move precisely into the green square again. It won't be affected by changes to the window's position anymore. If you also want to click this green square, you can use the Click Mouse command. When you run it, it will not only move the mouse to the green area, but also perform the click operation. You might be wondering at this point, do these two commands have to be used together? Definitely not. You can directly enable Move Mouse before clicking in the Click Mouse settings, capture the coordinate point the same way. This way, the result after running will be exactly the same as using Move Mouse first and then Click Mouse. The Click Mouse command is primarily used to perform click operations on targets with fixed coordinates relative to a reference object. This means that once the target's relative position changes, we will have to find an alternative solution. In our current example, no matter how the green square's position changes, its appearance and style stay the same. So could we take a snapshot of it and let the program find it using this snapshot? Next up, we'll learn about image automation. Simply put, image automation allows the robot to use the snapshot you provide to identify the target and perform actions on it. Its core working principle is this. Within the entire screen or the window range you specify, it compares pixel data to locate the target. All right, let's now take a look at how to set up image automation in Automa. Beneath Canva, there's an image library. Right now, it has no image elements added to it. You can click Add Image to capture a new image element. The capture method works like a screenshot. Hold down your mouse, drag to select the area on the screen where the green square is, and release the mouse to capture the target image. Verify it. It should work fine. Move the square to a new position and verify again. It'll still work. Name this image Canva Green Square and click Done. Besides capturing new images directly, you can also import images you've prepared locally. Once the image capture is done, if you want to click on this image, you'll need to use the Click on Image command. The search range supports 3 options: entire screen, window object, or foreground window. It's best to narrow down the search range as much as possible to avoid targeting errors. Here, select the specific Canva window, choose the image we just captured as the target, and click Done. Run it, and it will click correctly. Move the green square to a new position, run it again, and it will still click accurately. Besides Click on Image, Automa also supports commands like Move Mouse to Image and Wait for Image. These are straightforward to use, so we won't go into detail about them here. When you first start using image element matching, you might find the results aren't very stable. Sometimes it finds the target successfully, and sometimes it doesn't. If this happens, don't worry. You can adjust some parameters appropriately to optimize performance. Double-click the image element you just captured, and the first parameter you'll see is similarity. Image similarity can be understood as the matching precision. The higher the similarity value, the stricter the precision requirements for matching. The lower the value, the more relaxed the requirements. Usually the default value meets most needs, but you can also adjust it flexibly based on your actual situation. Additionally, you can enable Adapt to System Scaling to avoid matching errors caused by screen resolution differences. Grayscale lets the program ignore color variations when searching for the image. Beyond editing a single image element, you can also try adding multiple images as targets. Once set up, the program will perform the corresponding operation as long as any one of the target images is found. This further boosts the flexibility and success rate of matching and is ideal for scenarios where the target image has multiple states, for example, slight color or shape variations. That covers everything about keyboard, mouse, and image automation. Finally, it must be emphasized that in web automation and software automation, element capture is always the most stable and efficient preferred method. Only when element capture is truly not feasible should you consider using keyboard, mouse, or image automation. Among these methods, if you need to input special keys, for example, Enter or ESC, use keyboard automation directly. If the target operation position is relatively fixed, you can use mouse automation, which is simpler and faster. And if the target operation position is not fixed, but the image remains consistent, image automation is more suitable as it offers greater flexibility. In short, we recommend flexibly choosing the most appropriate automation method based on the actual scenario to ensure the stability and efficiency of the workflow. Congratulations! You've got the hang of Automa's basic operations and taken a solid first step into your automation learning journey. There are tons more advanced scenarios and challenges to unlock as you keep exploring. Just keep practicing and building up experience, and you'll get better at solving tricky problems and turn automation tools into your go-to efficient helpers.